Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. In a quiet corner of London, nestled between antique bookstores and ivy-covered tea shops, a story once whispered among the close-knit elite has finally found its way to the surface, the untold unraveling of Cat Deeley's brief, early 2000s marriage to Irish comedian Patrick Kielty. While the world remembers them as a dazzling yet fleeting couple, it is Patrick's family, warm, grounded, and rooted in County Down tradition, who claim they saw the storm long before the clouds rolled in. "We knew the moment the champagne stopped," says Aunt Maureen, her knitting needles clicking as she recounts the peculiar weekend at the family cottage in Ballynahinch. It was supposed to be a getaway for the newlyweds, a slice of simplicity after months of red carpets and camera flashes. Cat showed up in designer heels to walk through sheep fields, Maureen chuckled. Patrick tried to warn her, but she laughed and said, "Well, darling, mud washes off, doesn't it?" But mud, it seems, wasn't the only thing that clung. What was meant to be a cozy, rustic trip quickly turned into a comedy of errors. Cat, ever the glowing presenter with a sharp wit and sharper wardrobe, arrived with 3 suitcases, a personal assistant, and an organic juicer. The Kieltys, known for their hearty breakfasts and impromptu calids, were left blinking in polite horror as Cat declined the full Irish breakfast in favor of a wheatgrass smoothie. "She was lovely, don't get me wrong," said Uncle Sean, the unofficial patriarch and local postmaster, "but there was a moment, I remembered it clearly, when she looked around the living room with its mismatched chairs and old family portraits, and she smiled that smile, the kind that doesn't quite reach the eyes." The real turning point, however, came during a local fundraiser K-lead that Saturday night. Cat gamely joined in the first few dances, Patrick beaming beside her, but by the third reel, she'd slipped outside, phone in hand, pacing in frustration as she tried to get a signal. "She was on the phone with her agent," Patrick's cousin Aine whispered, glancing over her shoulder, "trying to get out of presenting a daytime show in Manchester. Said something like, 'I can't be stuck here again. Patrick's family think I'm a bloody farm girl.' That's when Gran heard, and Gran doesn't forget." It wasn't that the Kieltys disliked Cat, far from it. They admired her brilliance, her confidence, her unshakable poise. But they also knew Patrick. They'd watched him chase wild dreams, only to return home with muddy boots and a lopsided grin. They'd seen him fall in love before, but never quite like this, with eyes wide and heart racing, as though he couldn't believe she'd said yes. "He tried to shrink himself," said Maureen softly. "You could see it, skipping pub nights with the lads, always checking if she was cold, tired, bored. He was holding his breath." By spring, the visits to County Down stopped. Cat's career soared. She was flying between London and LA, while Patrick grew quieter, his usual sharp humor replaced with vague smiles and distracted silences. The marriage ended with a press release. Amicable, mutual, deep respect, the usual elegant phrases. But to the Kieltys, it had ended long before. Perhaps in the sheepfield, perhaps in that brief, lost smile. Or perhaps it ended when Patrick realized love doesn't always mean belonging. "We never blamed her," Maureen adds, folding her knitting. "She just wasn't meant for our world." And Patrick, well, he needed someone who'd dance all night and still want the full fry-up in the morning.